Hey there and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the functional trainer supinated shoulder press. This is an incredible exercise for your shoulders. It's going to be focusing a little bit more on the anterior head of the shoulder, so the front head of the shoulder. First thing you're going to want to do is set up this cable, I would say a little bit lower than your hip height. I'm just showing you how to move it. And then your rotation arm, you want to have that at around the 1. That way you're inside the machine, not in the middle of the gym floor. And then you want to make sure that you choose the appropriate weight. Make sure you can do 20 repetitions comfortably and then slowly start to increase the weight over time. So every other week or so. Once you have that set up, you want to make sure that you take a little step back. That way you're not like things not all up in your crotch in that area. And then just make sure that you're pressing up and you're keeping your forearms at the same angle as the cable. So basically make sure you bring it down right underneath your chin and then fully extend at the top. Now before we continue, here's a word from today's video sponsor.
I'm today's video sponsor, and if you'd like help losing fat or gaining muscle, there are a few ways I can help you down below. Either set up a free consultation with us, purchase through one of our free affiliate links, or purchase one of our instant access affordable training programs. Can't wait to be of service to you. Now let's get back to the rest of the video.
A couple other few things we want to talk about is keeping your feet shoulder width apart, keeping your glutes tight, and making sure that your abs are engaged. That's what's going to help you stay upright. You don't want to be arching your lower back excessively as you're pressing up, because then you start changing the angle of the movement, and then obviously you stop feeling it as much in your shoulders, and you start feeling it in areas like your lower back, your legs. You don't want that. So what we're doing today is we're training shoulders. So let's train the shoulders. Also, when you're doing it, keep the weight moving the whole time. We don't want any pauses at the top or the bottom. We want to keep as much tension on the muscle as possible. Also, make sure to keep those elbows nice and tight to your sides. So you basically don't want your elbows flaring out. Normally when you're taking a pronated grip, that's usually not as bad, but you definitely want to make sure that you keep your wrist right over top of your elbows as well as your shoulders. Keep all those joints in line the best you can. Also make sure that as you're pressing the weight up and bringing it down, that you're bringing it right as close as you can to your face. You don't want it far away, because then it's going to start pulling you forward, and then you're going to have to bend forward because the weight's pulling you forward. Another key thing is to make sure that you keep your chin nice and tucked. You don't want your head too far down, because then the cable's 100% going to hit you in the face. And then you don't also want your face looking up, because then it's going to put unnecessary strain on your neck. So what we want to do here is just train the shoulders as safely as possible. Another key thing that I want you guys to think about is making sure you keep your core tight. That's crucial, because if not, then you start putting a lot of stress on your lower back. And usually that means that the weight is way too heavy and you have to lower the weight. Just lower the weight. It's not worth it. What you want to be thinking about is longevity. How long can I train like this? If the answer is a long time, then good. So here's like one of the mistakes I was saying. You don't want to arch your lower back. That usually means that the weight is way too heavy, and you also don't want the cable to be so far from your face. If you do that, like I'm saying here's just, I'm exaggerating it obviously, but you don't want the cable that far away from you, because notice how my elbows are getting straighter. You don't want that. You want the forearm to be at the same angle as the cable, and it's not right there, as you can tell. Another thing, like I said, keep your chin tucked. You do not want your neck up like this. It's putting way too much strain on your neck for no reason. It doesn't improve the exercise. Also, like I said prior, you don't want your elbows flaring out like this. You want them tucked in. That way they're stacked, and that's the safest position to press in. Also, you want to make sure that you're pressing upward and not in front of you. Try to press as vertical as possible. And then the last mistake is we don't want half reps at the bottom of the range or at the top of the range. Full repetitions.